Hi, this is Alpha from Money Made Simple, and today I thought I'd do something slightly different. It's still to do with money, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about more was how we overcome the fear that we have around money, our ability to manage money, the fear of not having much in retirement, as much as we need anyway, the fear of just not understanding about money, and the things that hold us back as a result of all of that fear. One of the things I years ago heard John DeMartini use the fear as an acronym, which was future events appearing real. And that's just always stuck with me because quite often that's what it is. Fear is something that hasn't actually happened and may never happen, but it's something it's freezing us in the present on the assumption that that thing that we think will happen will actually happen in the future. So with that in mind, I also want to kind of bring in the concept of faith, and I'm not talking about any sort of denominational faiths here, but the faith that we have in ourselves and our own abilities, where most of us are actually more remarkable and capable than we actually realize and give ourselves credit for. So while this isn't a motivational talk or a pep talk, it is meant to try and help you kind of think about those concepts. The concept of mindset has been around for a long time, and it sort of gets a bit lost because it's just mindset, it's just this, and we hear it so many times and we just sort of dismiss it a little bit because we think, oh, that doesn't apply to me, or but this and but that. And there's usually some excuses and pre-existing conditioning that we kind of revert back to because it's comfortable or it's safe because we know how to deal with that. Because if we step into our capabilities, sometimes it's a little bit of a, oh, wow, this is unusual. I don't know what this is. And I'm sensing there's a lot of fear around at the moment, and it's not just in relation to money, that it's just in general. And I'd really like to help shift the conversation from that to faith and to embracing life and having hope for the future and acknowledging the things that you know and the things that you don't know, and then knowing that you will figure it out as well. You will come across the books or the knowledge or the people or the situations that you need at the time you need it in order to help you shift towards what you want, rather than focusing on the things that you don't want or the things that you don't have. Let's focus on the things that you do have at the moment. And quite a lot of us, we have our minds. Our minds are immensely amazing things. They absorb lots of information. They also repel lots of information, and we're in charge of what comes through the filters of our minds in relation to everything. And I'm going to focus specifically on money because that's sort of the area that I have a true passion for and that I'm focusing on here. So if you think about your retirement and you imagine what it is that you want, and you're feeling fear around the fact that you don't know enough about superannuation or how much money you will need to have versus what you have now, rather than letting that stagnate you, move forwards towards having faith that you can figure it out, or you can find the person or the book or the information that will help you figure it out. And if you don't know, just ask questions. I hear a lot when I talk to people the words shame or guilt in relation to money. These are destructive, and they will hold you back. There is seriously, my journey was one of curiosity. I didn't care if I looked stupid, because where do we learn all this stuff anyway? So asking questions is incredibly important. And if anyone tries to belittle you for asking a question, they're not the right person to ask, because no one has the right to belittle anyone or make them feel bad about what they think that they don't know. So anyway, I won't go into too much more, but I really, it seems to be a recurring theme, and I felt the need, and I've dressed into, I've got my fiery red going today because I feel very strongly about this. And I'd be keen to hear some stories, if you'd like, in the comments about anything that you've experienced in this space. But yeah, I really just have faith in yourself. Know that you have the capacity inside you to get where you need to go. I'll put lots of practical tips and information on on my social media pages and on my blog, and my course is obviously full of lots of stuff as well. But if you want to just find out some things without having to go to that extent, that is okay. Ask me questions. I love questions. Curiosity is the key to life. Every time my daughter asks questions, I encourage it and love it. We were away recently and we had a tour guide, and she, as soon as she knew that it was okay to ask questions, she was off. She was asking all sorts of things. And the guides loved it too. They were saying, I've never heard these sorts of questions before. So I always encourage people to have curiosity and ask questions, and to not feel like you're going to be silly for asking them. Ask them anyway. If you really want to know the answer, the best way is to search for it or ask somebody, because that tends to fast track it rather than searching for yourself sometimes. But yes, have faith and push through anything that you think might hold you back.